Hello everyone, my name is Erik Peabody, and I have recently taken over as the new host of Horror Hill. I've been a big fan of the show for a while, and it was an honor to get to fill in for Jason a few months back when he decided to take a break. Now that he's moved on to other projects, I'm more than excited to get to be the new host of the show. However, I know transitions like this can be difficult, and so I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself, to hopefully lull you all into a false sense of security. I am a voice actor, audio engineer, and guitarist. I live in Rochester, New York, with my lovely girlfriend and our dumb but adorable cat, and I run a small audio production business called Viking Guitar Productions. I've been lucky enough to get to do some audio work for some pretty big name companies like Disney, 2K Games, Supercell, and Microsoft. I also provide audio services to a few other podcasts, including the H.P. Lovecraft literary podcast, which is now known as Strange Studies of Strange Stories. You can also hear some of my voice acting in that show, as well as in The Vessel by Brian Martinez and the upcoming Shadow and Smoke by Thomas Diaz. Of course, I've also done a lot of voice work for Chilling Tales for Dark Nights. Horror has been a big part of my life for a long time. I remember being in early elementary school and watching movies like Poltergeist and Gremlins and having the shit scared out of me. And from there, I followed the horror pipeline that I think a lot of kids did in the late 80s and early 90s. I read a bunch of Goosebumps books, played a lot of Castlevania games, and watched a lot of the Real Ghostbusters cartoon show. From there, things progressed, and I got into Resident Evil and Stephen King novels, and a bunch of increasingly terrifying horror movies. As a teenager, I worked in a few different video stores, which afforded me the opportunity to go through an extensive collection of horror movies and fully indoctrinate myself in that medium. Now, in my mature adult years, I'm able to indulge this hobby a bit more comprehensively. I've produced a number of albums of horror music. I get to wear disgusting death metal shirts when I go to the store. At any given time, we have a few Halloween decorations up in the house, and I usually fall asleep watching a YouTube video of a playthrough of some game like Layers of Fear, or Silent Hill, or PT. Now, I know the internet loves little lists of factoids, so here are a few easily digestible tidbits for you to get to know me a little bit better. For me, it's a toss-up between Alien, The Thing, the 1982 version, of course, and The Exorcist. As far as newer things go, Hereditary, Annihilation, and The Color Out of Space have all left very strong, lasting impressions on me. Frank Muller, hands down. Unfortunately, he passed away back in 2008 as the result of a motorcycle accident, but he narrated some of my favorite books, most of the Stephen King Dark Tower series, as well as a Stephen King short story called The Ballad of the Flexible Bullet, which is rather good. And he also did the audiobooks of some literary landmarks like All Quiet on the Western Front and 1984. I play guitar in a heavy metal video game cover band called Viking Guitar, and we've been lucky enough to get to play at some pretty big events like PAX East and MagFest. If you're interested in that music, you can go to vikingguitar.bandcamp.com. I'm so glad that you asked. I'm on Twitter, my username is Viking Guitar. I'm on Instagram, at Viking Guitar Productions, and on YouTube, the name of my channel is Viking Guitar. Most of my online social media presence is focused more on the audio production and guitar side of what I do, not quite so much on the voice acting, but if you want to hit me up on any of those lovely social media outlets to talk about music, horror, voice work, hey, if you're looking for audio production or narration for a project that you are working on, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. Now that we know each other a little better, I expect to see you at the Chilling Tales for Dark Nights YouTube channel each and every week for a new episode of Horror Hill. The show wouldn't be what it is without its amazing audience. and I really wanted to take this chance to thank you all for tuning in, for sticking with us through this transition, and I hope you enjoy the new frightful stories we get to introduce you to. Until next time, listener, sleep tight. And if you hear scratching at your door, don't open it. The darkness may have found you, listener, but it's up to you to let it in.